This is going to go through a motion that incorporates cervical and thoracic flexion, which is all the way down here, and cervical and thoracic extension all the way up here. Now with these, it's really important to note that if you go too deep into the motion right away, you can very easily reproduce pain. So you want to think about at each endpoint what you feel. Is it pulling, is it pain, or is it a combination of the two? If it's just pulling, that's a little bit more safe to push into a little bit. If there's a painful pull, you kind of want to get in and out of there and be respectful that you could irritate something if you force the issue. So initially when you do this, do it lightly, don't try and get as far as you can, right? So to show you from the side, I'm going to do this seated in a chair, and I'll show you how I'll do it as well sitting on the floor. I'm going to take my hands behind my head, right? Now just so you can see, I'm going to take my hands away, right? But my hands create a nice little support system here so that my head can rest against my hands. So I'll take this hand away so you can see. So I very lightly tuck my chin, not hard, just a little bit towards my throat, and I'm gently pressing back into my hand. Just watch it now hit the wall here. I'm going to maintain that tuck as long as I'm able to, right? Now for some people, initially, if they're pain, especially if this hurts up here, this may be as far as I have them go. Now as I go back, I'm going to feel like my ribs want to pop up and my low back wants to come off of this chair. I do want to try and keep these down with almost a little bit of tension in my stomach. So I'm really trying to get a lot of this motion to come from my thoracic spine or mid-back. So initially I may just go to here, and I'm going to come out of it, and I'm going to bring my chin down, kind of rounding from the top down as far as comfortable. So I'm going to begin by, especially if something hurts, I'm probably going to find some pain at this end range, and I'm probably going to find some pain or discomfort at this end range. And I'm going to try and stay short of those two barriers and just go gently from one to the other. Here I do lightly press my head into my hand as I go back. Now if that's fine, I take it a little further, right? So if going back here isn't too bad and I want to work on that looking up motion, I'll keep my chin tucked as long as I'm able to. And then I get to a point where to keep looking up, I have to let this go. So I'll let it go. I'm still trying to keep my ribs down a little, and I'll go as far as I can into this looking up motion. And then I'll try and come back lightly. I'm not jamming my chin as hard as I can. Lightly into this tuck as I come all the way down, like I'm trying to look between my legs. Do I feel tightness and or pain? And then I will press my head into my hand to kind of contract those muscles from that stretch. As I come back into my tuck, maintain the tuck as long as I'm able to. Once I feel like I can't maintain it, I let it go. I'm still focusing on moving mostly through my mid-back as I go back here, and then I initiate the coming out of this motion by just lightly bringing my chin down. I'm not going to be able to tuck my chin really hard from here because my neck's extended, but just lightly chin here, and then as I get to like this point, now I can really reestablish my chin tuck. And then I'm just rolling forward into this motion. So I'm really going from thoracic and cervical flexion, and then as you see with my hands here, all the way into this chin retraction, thoracic extension, and then letting myself come into some cervical extension. Now I can do the same thing if I don't have a fancy chair like this on the floor, sitting in front of, say, my couch or coffee table. This position may actually be better because it rounds my lower back more, so now I have less likelihood of compensating in my lower back. So same thing, I would do this with two hands, but I'll take one away so you can see. I have my elbows not all the way out here, just kind of comfortable mid-range as a portable headrest. And once again, taking one away so you can see, I tuck my chin. I go back as far as comfortable. If I feel tight or uncomfortable there, that's as far as I'll go. Coming forward, if I feel tight or uncomfortable there, that's as far as I'll go. So I always respect that barrier. Now, as long as I don't force the issue, typically as I come back to do this, I might say, oh, you know what, now I don't feel it until here. So as soon as I get to a point where there's pain, stretch, or a little bit of both, I stop. If there's pain, I may stay even shorter. If it's stretch, I'm a little bit more confident that I can go into that without irritating it.